Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Saturday, July 31st. We have made it to the end of July, folks. Of course, if you're in Australia listening to this, it could actually be August 1st. You guys are a day ahead. Actually about, I think 12 hours ahead. So sometimes a day ahead, sometimes we're on the same day. But I think we're all on the same page, right? We're on the page of let's make this world a better and more loving place, right? So today we have the moon in Taurus all day. Of course, the Taurus moon always brings a certain amount of stability to the picture. Until it makes its conjunction to Uranus, which it'll do at the end of this day. So it's like we have this time of Taurus, kind of like calm and cool and collected. And then boom, every month, Uranus, every month. It's a way for us to shake ourselves out of some of our more stubborn emotional patterns, I think. Because every month we have this personal sort of new moon when it comes to the moon and Uranus, this new opportunity for a realization, which I think is kind of cool. So there's that happens later in the day. But before any of that happens, we actually have the moon make a square to the sun. So this is part of the lunation cycle. It's the last quarter square. In fact, if I may show you, I don't know if you can see that. That's the moon up there. That is the last quarter moon. Yep. Last quarter moon. The last quarter moon comes up very late, like in the middle of the night. And then so in the morning you can still sort of see it. And it's starting to set. That is the southwest sky that I just showed you from my property, I believe. Either southwest or just south. Or just west. Might be just west. Oh, God. Don't ask me to pull the compass out. So last quarter squares. This is the three-quarter place. And there's a big fat squirrel who was just on my feeder. Hey, you. Get away from my... He looks like he's drunk. Hope he's okay. Get away from my feeder, mister. The big gray ones eat so much. I don't mind them snacking here and there, but I don't think that it's their breakfast. So this is the hardy hibiscus. It's the hardy hibiscus. We actually have another one here. It's gonna bloom, but it's not quite ready yet. I think this one is white or light pink. I can't remember. This one's having a little bit more trouble with probably beetles putting holes in its leaf. It'll be all right though. It eventually blooms. Last quarter moon, where was I? Yeah, so the last quarter moon is a three-quarter place. Okay, because there's not enough nature. See the bunnies? Hi, bonbons. They are so funny. I was up there putting the feeder, and the bunny kept running, and I didn't want to scare him, so I was sort of zigzagging, and to get up there, I didn't want him running out into the street or anything. And then on the way back, he was zigzagging around me, so I think he thought I was playing with him. I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's the buns. Hi, bonbons. Yeah. So, getting distracted by bunnies once again. Last quarter square. Let's get back to the astrology, folks. Last quarter square is a crisis in consciousness. It is when we start to question authority. It's when we make a decision, perhaps, to move in a more progressive direction. And certainly a more being the captain of your own ship direction. The other thing about this point in the lunation cycle is it's from this point to the new moon where we start working with the idea of extracting meaning from our experience. It's just the start of that. We still have some work to move in a more progressive direction through this lunation cycle. But with the sun in Leo and the moon in Taurus, this is a fixed last quarter square, of course, because the sun is in a fixed sign. Now, the sun is very powerful in Leo, and the moon is very powerful in Taurus. The moon is in its exaltation. So in this particular last quarter square, both the sun and the moon are well placed in signs that they really like being in. And so there, it also brings up the sort of more stubborn part of things. That being said, however, Uranus is close by, and next week, I believe it's next week, I'm going to do the Astrology and Kabbalah of August a little later today, so you can check that out. But next week, we have the sun make that opposition to Saturn and the square to Uranus, along with Mercury. So coming up. So there is awareness ahead, and there's change ahead. So, and that change, Uranus and the sun, is going to be a crisis in action. So actions are going to be taken. But today we have this sort of crisis in consciousness, this crisis in faith, and really sort of evaluating what our very personal needs are. Sun in Leo is very personal, and the moon in Taurus is also very personal. And yet we do have this stress, perhaps, or awareness that, we're not the only people on the planet. And that goes for countries, that goes for individuals. We are here together, and we're going to have to start working together if we really want to make the changes that are necessary. Instead of fighting each other and working against ourselves, what are we doing, folks? What are we doing? What are we trying to... What's the end game here? If we continue to stay separate, if we continue to argue over mental points and not look at the reality on the ground and what we need to do for it. We're closer than we've ever been in a long time, so don't lose faith. Just know that there's a lot of work ahead, and it's going to be a lot easier if we work it together. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Sounds like the... What? What's the matter? There's either a hawk around, which may be possible, because there are hawks in the neighborhood, or I'm too close to the feeder. So I'm going to go hide so the birds can feel like they can go do what they have to do, I guess. All right, guys, have a great day. Like and subscribe. There's Bunny again. Hi, Bun. Bunny, bun. And I'll see you later for the Astrology and Kabbalah of August. It's a really, really interesting month, and we're going to work through it together. All right, guys, take care.